In Romans chapter 12, verse 14, Paul gives one of the hardest commands in the Christian life. He says, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse. Now, that word persecute, it's a really strong word. It means a severe mistreatment. So somebody's hurt you, gossiped about you, treated you unfairly. And naturally, when somebody wounds us, our instinct is to wound them right back. Usually what we want to do is find a listening ear. We want to tell somebody, what they said, what they did, how wrong they were, and, how hurt we are. And before long, we've gathered a whole team of listening ears around us. And so Paul says, instead, though, of cursing them, bless them. Now, it's interesting because the word bless is connected to where we get our word eulogy. And when do we usually hear a eulogy? At a funeral, right? And at funerals, people stand up and they talk about the good things in somebody's life. They talk about their kindness, their love, their faithfulness, their character. And usually at funerals, people don't focus on, bad stuff about that person. Instead, they focus on what was good. And so think about how radical Paul's command is right here. He's saying when somebody hurts you, instead of tearing them down, eulogize them. Speak good about them. Imagine somebody's harsh towards you, and then later they overhear you saying something good about them. They hear, man, they really love their family, or man, they're such a hard worker, or they've been faithful in so many ways. That would be really shocking, right? Because, the world expects retaliation. The world expects gossip. The world expects us to fight evil with evil. And so Paul says, no. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. And so as believers, we don't overcome darkness by adding more darkness to the situation. We overcome it with grace and kindness and forgiveness and, that Christ-like love. Now, that doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean that we ignore the sin or, pretend that we're not hurt by the situation, but it does mean we don't fight evil with evil. And honestly, this is impossible apart from Jesus. The only way that we can bless people who hurt us is when we remember how Christ treated us. Jesus, he was mocked, rejected, lied about, beaten, and crucified. Yet even on the cross, he prayed, Father, forgive them. That's the mind of Jesus. And so maybe today there's somebody who has hurt you, disappointed you, or spoke against you. Instead of feeding into that bitterness, God's calling you to pray for them, speak kindly about them, and let good overcome evil. And so that kind of response, it stands out in a world filled with anger. And you know what? It looks a lot like Jesus.